This is the gear I used while I thru-hiked New Zealand's Te Araroa trail over the summer of 2023 to 2024. I'll show you everything that I started and finished with to help guide you get the right kit. For my pack, I used a Gossamer Gear 50 litre, which I found to be too small at times for an anti-ultralight hiker like myself. If I could go back, I would have purchased an Osprey 50 litre instead. Despite it being the same volume, it can definitely fit a lot more in. I used the Black Diamond Trail cork trekking poles, demoted to a single as one snapped along the way. For my tent, I switched from a Gossamer Gear 2-person shelter to the Nemo Hornet Osmo 2. I changed over when I reached the South Island, as I personally found the Gossamer Gear trekking pole tent to struggle holding up to the New Zealand conditions. Being a single wall tent, I wasn't a fan of the condensation and I found it unreliable to the demands of South Island's sporadic weather. For my sleeping pad, I ended up with the Big Agnes Rapid Mat. I initially started with the Cedar Summit Etherlight, but it did not take long for that to acquire multiple punctures. The Big Agnes was durable for the rest of my journey and I did not have any issues. Switching from a sleeping bag, I used a Neve Waratah quilt, which is great for those cold Southland mornings. One of my greatest purchases was the Nemo Elite Luxury Pillow. All tied together, this was a great way to rest after those long days hiking. For my clothes, I went through 2 pairs of Icebreaker Cool Light shirts, a Patagonia quick drying polyester long sleeve shirt for those hot days, a MacPack Pro Thermal Fleece base layer, a MacPack Nitro Fleece, a MacPack down jacket with a hood for those cold nights at camp, a MacPack rain jacket, Creepers socks which prevented any blisters, a buff, durable Dirty Dog sunglasses, outdoor research sun hat to, keep the sun out, and Kathmandu long johns. I kept all of this in a MacPack dry bag. I took along some campsite Crocs, and after trying a few different types, I found the Topo Mountain Racer 3 shoes to be the best. For my cook system, I used a Jetboil Zip, which doubles up as a bowl and provides quick boiling water for my daily coffee and noodles. I took with it a small gas canister and a lighter that all fit inside. To filter my water, I used a Katadyn Be-Free. This got clogged pretty frequently, but it managed to do the job the whole trail. I took a Cedar Summit collapsible mug and used a Trailmate titanium spork, which were both great. I grabbed a Tatonka pack cover halfway to help mitigate the torrential rain. I carried a GME personal locator beacon that I never used but is still an essential piece of safety equipment. Some miscellaneous items included hay fever remedies, sunscreen and dental products. In my electronics bag I carried 2 power banks but only took one in the North Island, a charger, spare camera battery and an SD card reader. I wore a Patagonia hip belt where I kept things like AirPods and wireless microphones for easy access. I used a Black Diamond head torch which came in handy when you had to chase possums away from your tent. I also took a Kindle to read myself back to sleep after dealing with the rodents. For those of you who followed along my Instagram vlog series, you may have noticed a Sony camera attached to my bag. This is for a project I'm working on, documenting my journey for a YouTube series. It added a layer of complications to my journey, but it's definitely paying off now that I'm putting the footage together. I used a Sony a6400 with the kit lens. For audio, I used a GODOX shotgun microphone. For the tripod, I found the Pedco ultrapod 3 to be suitable for its lightweight properties. When I wasn't filming, I would clip my camera onto my Peak Design capture clip, which gave me easy access whenever I needed it. This is by no means ultralight, but the gear I used worked well for me. I hope this has helped, but I also advise to keep doing your own research to see what suits your hiking style. If there are any questions you have about Te Araroa, I encourage you to drop a comment or get in touch with me on Instagram, as I'm working on a frequently asked video where I'll share some insights that I gained along the way. I'll also be sharing more videos on YouTube, so flick us a subscribe if that's what you're into. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time.